Hello, this is Nick again. Um, I'm going to try and answer the best I can. What is Tao? Okay, because when Lao Tzu 5,000 years ago got asked to write the book on the art of living on the Tao, he wrote a beautiful book called the Tao Te Ching, which was 81 pages long. And the first lines were Tao Ke Tao Fei Chang Tao, which is the Tao that can be explained by words or comprehended by thoughts is not the true Tao or eternal Tao. So if you're starting to write a book about something and the first line you set it up by saying you can't explain it or comprehend it, and give you a bit of an idea of how mysterious the Tao is. But it's fascinated me. And I love that Master Shah shows ways of and techniques of aligning with the Tao. And the further you go into it, the more mysterious it becomes. But at the same time, I do believe we can grasp the concept of the Tao. So what I love about the Tao is it means the way or the path. You can't put a mental image on it, so you can't grasp it. You can't say it's one thing. But there's a beautiful book called The Tao of Daily Life by Derek Lin, and it's filled with Tao stories. He's a beautiful Tao master, actually. I'm going to share some of the things he puts in this book that explain the Tao briefly. The first page, he talks about how to start your day. The beginning of a new day is a wondrous gift. It is a blank page containing nothing and yet filled with possibilities. It is the perfect time to prime yourself for the unknown challenges ahead by contemplating the Tao and reminding yourself to practice the following throughout the day. Live fully in the here and now. Appreciate the simple things in life. Take responsibility for the unfolding of your destiny. Put yourself in the right frame of mind. It can be very helpful to consider the following questions. How will I move forward in my life journey today? How will I remain in tune with the Tao today? And the first story is called The Fish in the Ocean. What is this thing called Tao? Once upon a time, a young fish asked an old fish, everyone talks about this thing called the ocean. What exactly is it? The older and wiser fish answered, the ocean is that which surrounds you on all sides. The younger fish didn't understand. What do you mean? There is nothing around me. If the ocean surrounds me on all sides, why can I not see it? Of course you cannot, the old fish said patiently. The ocean is both inside and outside of you. When you move, it moves with you. When you stop, it stops as well. You were born in the ocean and you will die in it. It wraps itself around you just as your own skin does. But how can I tell it exists if I cannot see it? You must use more than your eyes. We may not be able to see the ocean, but we can definitely feel it. Trust your feelings. They are the key. This is very important again because I believe that humanity have totally lost trust in themselves and in their feelings. We seek doctors, we seek help from others, for our children at the drop of a hat. Instead of trusting ourselves, we always seeking externally to find our own happiness or to find ourselves. We want other people to tell us things about us instead of trusting ourselves. It goes on, it says, Confucius once said, fish forget they live in water. People forget they live in the Tao. Sages have attempted to explain the Tao in the following ways. Whatever the ultimate principle is that underlies reality, we call it the Tao. Whatever the one truth is at the center of all spiritual truths, that is the Tao. Whatever the universal force of consciousness is, we will give it the name Tao. Whatever the force is that is ultimately responsible for moving everything in the universe, from galaxies to human beings to subatomic particles, that force is what we call the Tao. Now, everything has a Tao, a way. The trees follow the Tao. And right now, humanity is not following the Tao of human beings, the Tao of humanity. Some are, but as a collective, we're not. I'll give you an example. I heard a thing yesterday. It said 100 million sharks are killed each year by humans. 10 people killed by sharks, and they're always by accident. Yet people are afraid of sharks. This is going against the Tao. This is insanity. If you see the Tao as a universal force of creation, you can either go with that force and flourish, okay? Or you can oppose it, go against it, and you'll die, okay? It's like you can either go with the wave or you can fight it, okay? And Master Shah says, follow Tao, flourish. Go against Tao, finish. Now this is, for each one of us, this is important, but it's important as a collective consciousness. Humanity can follow the Tao and flourish, or we can go against the Tao and finish. Many people are so not aligned with the Tao, and I'm including myself in some areas. For example, there's a great Taoist story that one of my Buddhist mentors shared with me, Dr. Bennett. And she tells it a lot better than me, but in a nutshell, this is it. A lot of the ancient Taoists, the Taoist masters, they would get mistaken for like homeless people because they just went with nature. They were wanderers, okay? Now, in this story, there's a Taoist master sitting on a beautiful beach under a tree. And a man walks past and sees him. Obviously doesn't know he's a master. And he says, "What are you doing? Why don't you go and get a job?" And the master says, "And then what?" And he says, "Well, you know, you can get nice clothes." And the master says, "And then what?" He said, "Well, you can get a nice house." He said, "And then what?" He said, "Well, you can get a nice car." And the master said, "And then what?" And he said, "Well, then you can go on holiday." And the master said, "And then what?" And the man's getting frustrated, and he says, "Well, then you can sit on a beautiful beach under a tree." And the master says, "Well." You see, the Tao of going on the beach and enjoying the sun, for the master, it was a case of going to the beach. Yet for this man, he believed you had to go and get a job, clothes, house, car, holiday, just to get on the beach. Now this is a great analogy for where humanity is at right now, okay? This is a great analogy for the love, peace, harmony movement. Humanity at the moment is like that man. We believe to get ourselves out of trouble, we need to come up with technology. We need to Fight fire with fire. Fight terrorism with war, which doesn't work. Remember, if we look at the things we actually say, they make no sense. You don't fight fire with fire. You don't see firemen fighting fires with flamethrowers. We extinguish fire with water. Another great analogy is if you woke up in the middle of the night and you came down and your family were in bed and you saw a fire in the kitchen, would you reach for the water, or would you reach for more matches and paper? This analogy is a calling to anyone who's awake, because if you're fortunate enough to wake up from the conscious sleep that humanity is in, and you see your house burning, which is the earth, and potentially losing your family, which is humanity, you have a choice whether you're going to reach for fire or whether you're going to reach for water. The love, peace, harmony movement is the water. And just like the other analogy with the master on the beach, it's simple. Okay? John Hagelin, Greg Braden, many of these great physicists and scientists are saying it is very easy to shift consciousness. And we are in a situation now where we need to raise the consciousness of this planet. We need to align back with the Tao. Okay? We need to align with this loving, creative force of the universe, which is the Tao. My wife is very passionate about animals. My friend is very passionate about the child slavery. He wants to climb Everest. He's a beautiful man. To raise awareness for the kids. My wife's also very passionate about factory farming and how she wants to stop the suffering. And I say over and over again, it's great what you're doing. We offer service, we help dogs, we help the homeless, we do whatever we can. But everything we see in this world is a reflection of the collective consciousness of humanity. It's a reflection of humanity moving away from the Tao as a whole. So by achieving 1.5 billion people to start with, singing one song that can raise the vibration and raise the consciousness to align back with the Tao, this is the way we wake up the consciousness of the whole, and the fastest and most easiest and productive ways of ending the suffering on the planet, of being forgiven for our mistakes, changing the environment, literally, because we affect our environment. This is the fastest way. We are not waiting for technology to do it. We are the technology, okay? We are the change we've been waiting for. We are the technology that we're looking for. So the key, all the time, I watch so many documentaries, I read many books. So many people out there are talking the same message, and they're all doing great work, but we need to come together. And this, I always fall back on this. The Maharishi effect, I love what the boys at Uplift and Unite are doing. I love it. Collective meditations, and there's more of it happening. But I love the Love, Peace, Harmony movement because of sound power. Imagine all these people who are doing meditation, but when you sing a song, imagine the whole world, or 1.5 billion people globally, sending out the vibration of love, peace and harmony, the message of love, peace and harmony. So we have a grasp of what the Tao is. We understand where humanity's going. They're going away from the Tao. And yet we have a solution of how we can align back with the Tao. And this is really a question of agency. This is life or death for humanity. And I'm sorry to put that to you like that, but it doesn't take a scientist, whether you're an atheist, an agnostic, religious, it doesn't matter, okay? When you look at what we are doing, we can't keep going the way we're going. We have to do something. And I personally believe that this is our solution. So please sign up to the Love, Peace, Harmony movement. Lend your voice to the sound of world peace. Thank you for watching this video. I love you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.